In this section of the training, we're going to teach users how to insert graphical presentation of the data into the Excel reports generated by the system. We'll start off with a time card report that was generated for the week of October 1st to 7th in 2013. You'll notice that there are a number of data columns in here. The first thing that I'm going to do is ensure that I'm working in the Summary tab. The Summary tab is the only tab on the reports that allows for the insertion of graphs. The next thing, if I put my mouse in the body of the report, it brings up a pivot table, and I'm going to either get rid of columns that I don't want or add in columns that I do want. The very first thing that we'll do here is get rid of driver. This particular set of vehicles does not have the driver ID feature. So uncheck driver. The particular field that I'm interested in is actually the maximum speed, and it's not in the report, so I'll check it off to add it in. Then uncheck all of the other fields. And now I have a report that gives me the maximum speed by date for the vehicle. But I'm not really interested in the information by date for the purposes of the report, so I'll even uncheck that. And you'll notice that we have some odd looking numbers here where it looks like it's 598 kilometers per hour. We have to go into this segment of their system and change the number format from, or value field setting, from the sum to the max, so that we're actually grabbing the maximum speed. Now here, what you have is the maximum speed that the vehicle traveled during the course of the month, 127 kilometers, 125, 125, and 112. So now we've got clean data to work with. Then the next step is to insert a chart. And just click on the chart that the system presents, or you can select some other alternative. And now you have the information presented graphically. We can insert a title here. That tells us what the information or the graph is all about. I can add or get rid of that. I can add data labels on top of the columns so that the graph actually tells me exactly what the speed was. I can get rid of or keep those buttons. In this case, I'll get rid of the field buttons. So now I've got a graph that tells me that Sheldon's vehicle was traveling at 127 kilometers per hour, 125 for Peter, 125 for Emma, and 112 for Bob's truck, and that was the maximum speed in the month. If I want to, I can go into the column of data and I can sort them from largest to smallest or smallest to largest. In this case, I'll invert the sorting and you'll see that the graph changed. The other thing that we can do is to put a filter in here. I'll click on the body of the titles for the devices, or right click that is, and then click on filter. The default is top 10, but in this case we'll just pick the top 2. And you'll see that you actually got 3, and that's because there were 2 vehicles tied at 125. These are just a number of tips that you can employ in order to take relatively gray graphical or tabular data and present them in graphs so that the information is presented vividly. Thank you very much. If you require additional assistance, please do not hesitate to contact us at the telephone number shown here or the email address shown on your screen.